So yes, I look incomplete, but that's okay. Due to technical difficulties, my lashes are not on, but they will be by the end of this video. Don't judge me. So I guess I'm going to get into specifically the base and start it with skincare matters. I just want to emphasize, skincare matters. No, I'm not a professional. I'm self-taught. Trial and error was my friend, especially now that they have minis. So before we get started, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Probably my favorite primer to use is the Milk Hydro Grip, and I've also started to use the Tatcha Liquid Silk Canvas. This one definitely mattifies me and it blurs my pores, and this one gives me long-lasting makeup. Sometimes I mix and match, other times I just, depending on the day, I just go for one, and I usually go for the Milk Hydro Grip. So I've been taking brushes for this instead of my hands, and again, it depends on if I'm rushing. If you're rushing, sis, do what works for you. So I just apply that all over, basically trying to concentrate it more so in my T-zone where the makeup tends to leave me. Now, most times I would mix, but because I'm just, honestly, it also depends on where I'm going. So like if I'm going to be outside, I'll probably mix this with a more mattifying primer, especially here and here and here. But I'm just going to my grandma's house today. We're celebrating her 75th birthday. My girl will grow my age. So, and I'm probably going to be in the house. And it's October. So in North Carolina, I mean, technically fall is here, but I live in the South. So we still be having spurts of summer. Legit spurts of summer. So like, we're literally the layering area where you have to you'll wear a sweatshirt in the morning, and then in the evening, afternoon, you in short sleeves and flip-flops. So yeah, so I just blend that all over. Most of my foundations are mattifying except for my Anastasia foundation, and there's another one that I use and I can't think of it, embarrassing. But and I probably use a brush more than I use a sponge nowadays. It's just, I think it's just a preference in what mood I'm in. I will admit that when you do use a sponge, it goes faster, concealer and all. That's just, I'm just gonna be honest, it depends on your time frame. So I just put the foundation on a brush. Some people warm it up first, I don't. So I just put it on the brush and I just go here, here. I don't put it under my eye. And I don't really normally put a lot on my forehead. But yes, I avoid going completely under my under eye simply because my concealer gonna handle that. I don't have dark spots, so I don't color correct. It's not a necessary step for me. But if you do need to, I would say use concealers. There are some dope color correctors that normally do what it needs to do. So like I tend to match the outside of my face and get the concealers for the inside of my face. But yeah, so I just add it and I just make sure it's blended. I normally do about 2 pumps simply because, like I said, I don't have quote-unquote problematic skin, and there's no areas that specifically need more love than the other. Like I said, I really do believe skincare plays a major part into how, and skin prep plays into a major part of how your foundation will play on you all day. So yeah, like I said, I prefer full coverage. Some people don't, and Lord, my lashes. I'm supposed to be watching these, y'all. They done draw it all the way down. I'm trying to educate the people. Okay, and then I do concealer. So like I said, I've said this plenty of times before, but I really genuinely mean this. I do not like a bright under eye. Just for personal purposes. I don't knock anybody who does. I just don't think it always comes off as flattering. I think the flashback takes away from all the hard work you put in to do your face. That's just me. Some people love it. Like, it comes off really pretty on them. Especially if, like, depending on your lighting and stuff, you can adjust it. But I don't like it. Even in real life, it just looks in your face. But I do use 2 concealers. The first one is Crazy Bright. And then the second one is more so for me. So I've been trying off camera to do my color first and then do this color here. So I'm going to do that there and that there. Now with the color that's closer to me, that's what goes over my whole face. So put this here and that there. Whoop. Yeah. A dab there. Here. And then down my nose as straight as possible. But baby, my hand not steady. Yeah. And so I stopped putting it on my forehead because sometimes, and I just blend it up to my forehead. And then I usually take this, put it there. And that's going to give me the extra highlight there, but it's not going to be all over. So that's normally what I do. And sometimes I bring it all the way, but sometimes I don't. The application is trash right now, but just follow me. And then when I contour, so I'll be honest, this is not my ministry, but this is just how I do it per se. I do a little on my forehead, and then on my jaw, I usually do it right at the end of my sideburn. Just because, Lord, I got a lash on me, y'all. The ghetto. And then go here at the end of my sideburn, and I put a little there, and then I go down my nose. So I try to follow, like, outline the line, because truthfully I don't want to change my nose. Like, I like my nose. I just know once you put the foundation on your face in general, it washes it out. Like, washes it out, and then you don't have a nose. And so I normally take some type of setting spray. What it do, miss, will work. And I spray my face down just to give it a little do 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 do. Did y'all see that? Anyways, do 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 do. Boop 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 boop. And I always blend out my contour first, so my concealer can sit and, you know, it get a little oomph oomph. And I'm going to use, I guess I'll use this today because I can't find my other brush. I don't know what that was. And I start with my forehead. I ain't lay my edges down, but whatever. That's not really my ministry. It don't ever work for me, so I don't think I have the right hand, so to speak. And I just blend that out around my hairline just to give me the shadows needed. Oh, and I stopped putting makeup down here because I don't like that harsh line that it leaves. And that could just be my blending, you know. Got a little ghetto blending. So then I push this up when I blend it, simply because that's the goal, is to lift. I had a fat face, so I just want to lift my face a little bit, you know. Look at this jiggle jiggle. Because then, and I blend it up because then I know where to stop my concealer. So yeah, again, I'm not a professional. This is just what works for me. And I try to make sure it all meets. And then whatever's on my brush, I just take it and push it up just to give me a little bit more definition. But I never put the product down here because it don't ever. But see, I look harsh now, but just trust the process. Then I take a brush, and I know some people, like I said, truthfully, if you're in a rush, use a sponge. But me, I like a brush. And then I always blend this out first. Oh, and I put this here because when you take pictures, like the lighting of it, it's just I don't know, it gives me like a I don't know. I seen somebody do it, and then I tried it and I liked it, so that's why I did it. Okay, and I just focused it right there where the natural light hits. I try to conceal where I know the light is going to hit. That's usually kind of the goal. Well, highlight, because I mean I'm not concealing any. I mean I'm concealing and highlighting, which yeah. So, and then I do it on my mouth, and I bring it up like into where I know the concealer is gonna go, and around my nose to shape my nose. You feel me? You feel me? And then I do my nose and then my eyes because I need the coverage here. You feel me? Okay. So then, and I just take it up and I put it up, and then this is why I don't add product to my forehead anymore, because now I'm pushing whatever my nose had on it and I'm pushing it up. See? And that's going to give me, without that awkward beaming on my forehead. Yeah. And I also, as you can see, I blended out the contour that I put here and there. Now again, this is how I do my face. If you have a different route, that's fine, because I think everybody's face is different. I don't really tell people how to do such and such and such and such, because everybody's face shape is different and what you want to highlight may be different. But yeah. So, and I take that up, and as you can see, it's pretty much blended that there, and I just go back and forth, up and down. And so then I do my concealer. Wow, I wonder which one it is. And I bring it down with the same brush. Now, I don't necessarily have dark circles or bags, so to speak, unless like I'm sick. Like that's how I know, like, okay girl. And then I just take it down to where, okay, so you see my contours here, and I just blend it into that. That's the logic that I have. And I also use it to clean up here, to lift my face, but also be that stopping point for my concealer, if that makes sense. And then also it's going to meet here, so that's also going to be blended softly into that. And we always be together, do whatever. We said that no one ever in between us, love never ever leave. Again, a sponge could probably do this a whole lot faster, but I just like the control the brush gives me. I mean, it's not too, I mean, it looks bright because I have lights and I'm using natural sunlight, but yes. And then I do this side. I don't have a side preference of what I do first. I just go with what naturally comes to me. That was a while ago. Now lately it feels like, I mean, I feel like all we do is fight every single night. Each time can't get it right. I just wanna. And whatever's left on the brush, again, I'm still blending it into my forehead. And I just make them work together. And so then, once all of that's blended out, what I tend to do. And I mean, this may be against some people's rules, but it works for me. I go back with my brush that I use for contour just to merge all of that together. And some people are like, well, why don't you do the contour last? Because I really don't need my contour to really like sit on my face per se, like my concealer to give that coverage. And that just marries everything together. Because I feel like it gives me a guide to where I know I need to stop, if that makes sense. And it shapes and helps me get a better shaping of my face. Now again, you don't have to do it like this. This is what works for me. Go back, way back, all the way back, and we start again. And then what I do, whatever brush I use for foundation, I take it under where my cheek, where I really wanted to, and then because it gets a little sloppy for me, that could just be lack of control on my part, and I just go like that, and I bring it up and go over it, kind of calm it down. Some people will be like, no girl, you're not supposed to. It works for me. Same thing over here, which wasn't as sloppy, which I'm kind of shocked because no, it's the other way around. And then also, because I know there's like a weird harsh line there, it always is. Blame my blending, but yeah. So I go just to soften everything out, and this is what works for me. Again, it may not work for you, which is fine. Everybody gotta find what works for them. And then I just take a little brush just to get rid of any what may be leftover harsh lines from where it may not have gotten that concealer and contour that I blended together. Now I just bring my nose back. Like I said, I like my nose. I know some people try to make it like they got a little nose job, which is fine, but I like my nose. And so once you feel like everything is blended to your liking, again, your liking, you can sit. But I'm going to use a cream blush. So before I do that, now some cream blushes you can definitely put on top of the powder, but I feel like you might as well just do it all at one time, so that way, yeah. So I'm going to use this, and I'm going to get a brush, whatever brush that may be. Oh, I can use the brush, this, and I'm going to tap 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 tap. It's very pigmented, and I'm just going to place that right there where my cheekbone is. Then I'm just gonna make sure it's blended and concentrated in the right areas. Oh, this is pretty. Then I'm gonna set my entire face. Okay, so we did our foundation, concealer, we're blended out, and we added our blush. Now this is a preference thing. I don't judge anybody who does this. Again, this is how I do my face. So I would typically, normally, use 3 powders. I usually use a brighter powder just focused here, and then do the rest with it. But today I'm not gonna do that because I don't want to, and I'm just going to my grandma's house. So I'm going to take my lighter powder, which is Hazelnut. It's my favorite. And I usually take a dome brush like the M536 from Morphe. I don't bake simply because I don't think it looks pretty in pictures. This is my preference. I just normally take the powder and I pack it to set it. And I just push it into my skin. Now you can also do this with a beauty blender. But this is what I do. And of course I get a little powder happy every time I be telling y'all I'll be using a lot. But just look how pretty that is off the rip. It mattifies it, and I have control of the powder. I don't feel like it's, you know. See? And I always put it in the cap because, I mean, yeah, where else you gonna put it? And then I go for and I look up. It's always that first dip where I feel like I get so much powder. Never mind. And I just take it and set wherever I put the concealer. And I always do the concealer first. Okay? And then I do my chin where that little highlight was. And above my lip. And then I take wherever I drug the powder up. The powder, the concealer. And I just go there. And my forehead also, ooh child, cheek honey. I sweat in my face really, really bad. So I have to really like pack her on, okay? Pack her on. And I got powder on my nose. And so then I drag the powder up and down my nose where the concealer went. And that's it. I just try to make sure it's evenly set on under the eyes. It's not too harsh because, again, we don't want no flashback because we need our pictures to be snatched. And so then I take my face powder, which is in Nutmeg, and I set the rest of my face. And as you can see, the blush is still there. And I take more of a fluffy brush like my Sonia Kashuk. I think I'm saying that right. You can get these at Target or any domey fluffy brush. And so I put it and I tap it all over the brush. Tip, 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 tip. And then any itch streak, I just go like this. And then I just, you know, go wherever the other product is, and I just set the rest of my face. I can't sleep without you, think without you, eat without you, speak without you, be without you. I can't even breathe without you. I can't feel without you, deal without you, spin without you. My whole world is. I feel like my lighting has changed a little bit because the sun is moving. So yeah. Now you can use loose setting powder, you can use foundation, whatever you prefer. I have used my Fenty foundation to set my whole face, as well as a lighter foundation to set the concealers. So now once I set my face, all my powder products are down. I'm looking real dry, real matte, right? We like matte, okay? I like matte. If you don't like matte, then you know you can spruce it up, but I like matte. So now that's all set. My blush kind of went away, but that's okay because that's why they make powder blushes. So then I'm going to bronze. I use two, okay? I mean, you don't gotta use two. I use two. I use a semi darker one and then a more red one, but it just depends on my vibe. I normally use this Mocha Queen from Colored Raine and Naughty Spice. Now, depending on the vibe, I use both. Now for my darker one, I go in with a brush kind of like this. I don't know. I got it from Lorella. And then I just go, I dab, dab, dab. And I go across my forehead like such. And yeah, I just go across the forehead, and my brush is shedding the ghetto. Matter of fact, I'm gonna switch brushes because that's ghetto. I'm gonna use my one from Color Raine, the big boy. And then the ghetto. Then I'm gonna take it down my cheek. Upside down. Don't wanna go out 'cause I can't ride without you. Feel like I'm gonna die without you. What is a girl supposed to do when I spend? Now, some might be like, girl, that's too dark. Mind your business. Let's just say that's like my powder contour. And then I'm going to take the same brush and I'm going to, I don't take this, I don't take this one under here. I take this one. But I'm going to take this one, same brush, bloop, bloop, bloop. Now, I use two because it gives me what I want, what I need, okay? It gives me the warmth that I need. Now that it's getting cooler and the seasons are changing, that may change. That's gonna change. I'm probably gonna only use Naughty Spice. And then I take a little bit of that. And then I take my powder brush and just, you know, get rid of any harshness. But that's, again, this is just how I do it. I probably should have used a smaller brush, but that's the first brush I found because my other brush was playing with me, playing with my emotions. And then I do my blush. I'm going to take Sunkissed from JLaRue because it's also orange. And I'm going to bring it back because I feel like, I mean, it's there, but it's not there. It's not giving. Orange blush on us brown girls, it be hitting, okay? And then I just take my powder brush, nothing on it, and just boop boop boop. And then I only highlight my nose. I take my finger, go into my highlighter, and I boop boop boop, and push that up, push that up. Oh y'all, I forgot. See, I take Naughty Spice, or another reference would be Cocoa Naughty. Just depends on which one I'm using. On a kind of nose ankle brush. So E62. They didn't know this. Well, what's the name of the other? Anyways, focus. And I just take that down the line. Take it down the line. Just to, again, bring my nose back. It's not to change the shape. It's just to bring it back. Bring it back. Bring it back. And then I sometimes go this way. But mostly I just focus it here. Bring back a little structure to my little nose. I mean, I like my little nose. You know? Bloop, 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 bloop. It don't look like I did nothing, but I can see my nose again. And I just take whatever highlighter that I decided, which is normally my Honor Roll from Crayon Case, now sold in Walmart. And that's all. That's my face. And I set it with matte finishing spray. So here's the thing, I mix products. So depending on the weather and the time of where I'm gonna be, I could do all matte and then do a dewy finish setting spray, like the Morphe Continuous spray. But I like matte, like I'm going matte to the gauze. Okay, so I'm gonna spray my face down, and then I'm going to let it dry down. that's my whole face routine. Then I do my lip, and I normally wipe my lip off. Sorry, that lash was bothering me, like bothering me. Oh no, not you trying to play with me. Okay, so yep, so this is the final look of face, and then I'll come back and show y'all my lip, because I usually have to wipe my lip off and then add lip product. But this is my complete full face routine, I guess you could say, because that's how I normally do my face. But let me do my lip and I'll be back. Alright guys, so this is the final look of my full face, everything done. The lighting has moved. I put on a shirt, you know, trying to give y'all a little something, but like I said, I gotta go somewhere. So yeah, this is my full face. Again, you have to make your foundation look work for you. But if you have any suggestions on how I can, you know, perfect or anything you would do differently, let me know. I know some of the brushes that I used probably weren't the typical, but I used what I had in front of me because I have a lot of brushes and I'm cleaning a lot of them. And yeah, but for the most part, this is how I normally would do my face in just about any video. The only thing that would probably change is the products. So yeah, let me know your thoughts. I'm more of a girl who likes soft makeup. That's just me. But this is my final look on basically how I do my face. Like I said, if you got any suggestions, leave them down below. Again, thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and see y'all next time. Bye, Shuggas!